This is the KRON4 Morning News.
And let's check in with Henry. Hello, Henry. Good morning. Oh, look at you.
That's right. I'd forgotten. I'm sorry. Bad joke. We're going to be talking about memory. The fact that, of course, memory does seem to fade with time. There are steps you can take to start early to try and save your memory. And there's some things that really don't work at all. I don't remember which of them work and which don't. Fortunately, we have the author of a book coming up who's going to tell us the right answers.
He reflects what he speaks.
Don't rely on your memory, Henry. You write these things down. Well, coming up on KRON4 News Weekend, forgetfulness afflicting many baby boomers.
What'd you say?
I forget. Henry has more on that.
Here are some things. A few fries short of a happy meal, having a middle-aged moment, blanked out. All euphemisms for the idea of, what is the idea of? Oh, forgetting. The idea of forgetting, something that all of us start doing at a very early age. We're going to be talking to an expert about what you might be able to do to help yourself remember. Coming up on KRON4 News Weekend. Welcome back, KRON4 News Weekend. Cathryn, Jakobson, Ramin, do you remember the first time that you suddenly said, ooh, I can't remember something, my memory's failing?
Well, I think that went on for a while before the huge event. The huge event, if you'd like to know what that was, occurred after I left a movie with my husband in Larkspur Landing. We got in the car and we started to turn onto the highway, and by the time we reached the 101, I realized that I could not remember the name of the movie. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I was all of about 44 years old, and I had just left this movie, and I had actually enjoyed it, and it was a blank. It was not going to come to the surface.
And this may be one of the many factors that led Cathryn to write a book called Carved in Sand, When Attention Fails and Memory Fades in Midlife. The point being that it's going to happen to folks. It happens to everybody. If you're not in middle age yet, it will happen to you. If you're past there, you know what we're talking about. So the question is, what can we do about it? And you set out on a quest.
I did. I took a journey. It was about a 3-year-long journey, and I went through 10 interventions. In fact, what I did was make myself a midlife guinea pig in search of a better cognitive future. I wanted to make sure that my brain, which was the one thing that I had generally been able to rely upon, would continue to work, because without it, I figured I wasn't going to have much.
So where did you start? What are some of the first things that you did?
Well, I went through a lot of different interventions, as I said, but I started at UCLA at the Memory Center there, where they have a very good program. Now, a research center is generally mostly interested in filling its studies, its research studies, which makes good sense, because if they don't have participants, volunteers, then they can't do the research studies. So I became one of those subjects, and I had a PET scan, and I had an MRI, and I had a neuropsychological evaluation, all on the house, by the way, because if you're part of a study, that's what happens. And then I continued to enter a nutritional and exercise program called the 14-Day Memory Prescription. That was developed by Gary Small, who runs the program. And I went through all of that, and what I came out with was some really interesting information. I learned that if I actually ate some good protein for breakfast, I had a shot at having a brain at lunchtime. That was very valuable.
Wow, that's what I've been doing wrong. That's it?
Forget that banana bread. Go straight for the hard-boiled egg. Yeah, well, that's not all of it.
Darn.
It's a little bit of it. We can change things. And really, that is the point of my book. That's the point of Carved in Sand, that if you start in midlife, or earlier, or even a little later, you have the potential to make a difference, to change your cognitive future.
Vitamins. There are books written, there are regimens created for vitamins.
Certainly
you can have an entire army.
I like to refer to it as a conga line myself. You can have it on the kitchen counter. You never touch it.
And do you
just
do that?
keep them there.
Do you use?
I do indeed.
Vitamins?
I do.
Based on what?
Based on the research that I did. Another of the interventions, I interviewed a physician named Dharma Singh Khalsa. He's down in Tucson, and he in fact has done a great deal of research on maintaining brain health through vitamins and supplements. He's probably the person with the most expertise in this country. Great guy. And he introduced me to certain ideas that I needed to increase the amount of antioxidants that I was putting into my body. Now, I was already eating as many vegetables and fruits as I could manage, and I learned that if to get the appropriate amount of antioxidants, you would have to be a grazing animal. I mean, quite seriously, you'd have to sit there with a bowl of carrots and peppers.
But when was the last time you saw a forgetful cow?
Well, you just don't know, do you?
That's a good point.
They never forget to show up when it's time to eat, but other than that.
Okay, so you can catch up with Cathryn Tuesday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. at Vibrant Brains on Sacramento Street in San Francisco. Is that the name of the store? 415-775-1138. And you can also learn about how dancing can help. Jan will be happy about that. Eat less trans fats, vitamin supplements, the right foods, medicine. It's been quite a journey.
Yes, it has.
It's been really nice meeting you, Jane. And when we come back, something about the Pope, I think, but I don't remember what. Something about a Pope. We'll be right back. You're watching KRON4 News Weekend.